Welcome, Luke Miner, Senior Director with the Washington Education Savings Plans. Welcome back and congratulations on your new title. Oh my goodness.
Oh, thank you so much. It's so great to be here. It's just such a warm, inviting place, and I come back every time because it's just so enjoyable.
So first off, can you really have a daughter who's 5.5?
You wouldn't think so, but time is just flying by. She's getting ready for kindergarten, doing the back to school shopping. It's just absolutely insane.
Oh my gosh.
Time just goes by in a blur.
Okay, so I'm already crying because Hope can't be 5.5. Hi, Hope. Have a good first day in kindergarten because Mom and Dad are going to cry their eyes out, aren't we? Trust me.
Oh, yes.
So let's talk about what you've been doing for Hope this whole 5.5 years. And let's talk about the Education Savings Plan. It's that Washington 529 offer, because this is important because as we've been talking with you and Miguel, children grow up like this. So tell us about what our options are.
And that's exactly right. Those kids do grow up fast, and so it is important to start thinking about planning ahead early for those future, what you want to help them achieve through college and career readiness. And that's what we're all about, is we're helping families save money ahead of time, getting a tax advantage in these 529 accounts that ultimately help them pay for a variety of future expenses after high school. It could be college, community college, technical school, apprenticeship programs. The opportunities are really broad. And again, the important thing is, like we talked about, time goes by in the blink of an eye. So it is very easy for families to let those years slip by and not have a plan until you're filling out the college applications, getting the sticker shock, figuring out how much it costs and how are you going to pay for this. And so that's what we're all about, is helping educate families, financial education, and doing something, start in small increments today. Set up that account, start putting money in it when you can, get family members involved, and it just chip away at it over time is the best thing you can do.
If you have to bribe them with babka, we'll do it. So recent federal legislation has expanded the 529 plans can be used for, and which is so amazing, and I think you have alluded to that. So give us a summary of what's changing as we speak.
Yeah, so maybe I'll pause and just quickly give a quick overview of what these plans are. So again, I mentioned they're 529 plans. They're tax advantage savings vehicles when you use them for those higher education costs, which, as we talked about, are expansive. They're more than just college. But the important thing is it's all the growth in the account is tax-free and then remains tax-free, and you use it for the qualified expenses. So that's what's changed recently at the federal level, is 529 plans continue over time to expand in the uses, because we know that all students aren't on that 4-year university path, nor is that the right path for every student. And we want to make sure that we are able to support them in whatever that pathway is, and importantly, reduce friction for parents, because many parents have this fear of, I don't know what my child's going to do. I mean, Hope wants to be 4 or 5 different things right now: a teacher, an artist, a veterinarian. I'd like to support her in all those pathways, but ultimately she's going to have to choose one. And so that's what's important about these continued expansions, including the most recent one, is there is a lot of new credentialing and licensing programs that you can use the funds for that you didn't used to be able to use for. So CPA exams, bar exams, pilot licenses, various trades, certificate programs, and that sort of thing. So
culinary school, making babka, becoming a licensed instructor. So with the stock market's wild swings lately, because if you're somebody who is putting aside that amount every paycheck or every month, that may be something that you are apprehensive about investing into. Why are the GET and the WA529 plans investing safer options than, let's say, if I was somebody who understood the stock market and wanted to go about it that way?
Well, the great thing about both plans is the fact that families have choice in the state of Washington. They can choose the GET program, which is our flagship program we've had since 1998. It's called a prepaid tuition program. It keeps pace with the rising cost of college in our state and is not tied to the ups and downs of the stock market. So families who want that insulation from, economic forces and markets, GET can be a really good option because it provides that peace of mind. You're prepaying future tuition in advance. Now, you can still use the funds for all those same purposes we talked about. It's not limited to tuition at colleges in our state, but that's how it grows over time, is it's tied to that. So GET is really good to insulate people from those ups and downs of the stock market. And then WA529 Invest, on the other hand, tends to work well for savers who want to tailor their savings. They want a choice of investment portfolios that can be on the more risky side or can be on the more conservative side. But it gives them more choice, and importantly, they're saving over time. We have age-based portfolios that go from more aggressive to more conservative as a student gets closer to college. And so, especially if you're paying into it over time and doing dollar cost averaging, it really smooths out those shocks you see in financial markets. So with both programs, it's really important for families to start as early as they can, so you maximize the time you have to smooth out those different financial shocks that can happen over time. And again, it just makes it easier, smaller increments, instead of having to find large chunks of money at one time, or later on when students go into school having to apply for those loans.
Right.
That's the goal, is to get ahead of loans and really reduce the amount of loans a student may need to rely on.
I love that.
Yeah.
So your Hope is getting ready to start school. Today is the 7th of August, and she's going to be starting sometime in the fall. And I can just see your family getting ready for that. And as you're getting ready for that, what is the message that you have for parents? Because you've already been practicing this with Hope in the sense of putting money away. But for parents who perhaps are just now starting to think about that, what's the message, Luke?
I mean, it's right in line with the back to school message, especially for a child going to school for the first time.
Yeah.
There's a lot to think about. It can be intimidating, and you're kind of figuring it out as you go along. But you ultimately, you do have to plan, prepare, get the supplies. And I think of college savings or education savings in the same way. It's making a plan, sticking to the plan, and getting prepared before we get to she's turning 18, graduating high school, exploring what she wants to do next, of feeling confident that you have all the kind of tools at your disposal to set her up for academic success. It's the same thing with preparing for back to school, as we're trying to get students ready to learn in the classroom so that they can thrive.
I love that. So tell us about this Washington Student Achievement Council. This sounds really interesting.
Yeah, so the Washington Education Savings Plans are a program of the Student Achievement Council. We're a state agency that does a lot. It's a really dynamic agency. I feel very fortunate to work with a really dynamic team of people that serve students and families across the state. And importantly, it's not just your traditional college-age students that are 18 to 22. It includes a lot of adult learners, or we also call them advanced learners, people who want to return, reskill, retool, or maybe get that credential for the first time that they might have not had the opportunity to get before. So in addition to college savings plans, we have a whole policy and planning and research team that's trying to advance the education agenda to make sure we're keeping up with the modern education needs, workforce needs. Importantly, we administer the state's financial aid. We have one of the most generous financial aid programs in the country called WA Grant, and a lot of people don't realize that they qualify for it. So families, a family of 4 with an income up to $130,000 can still get some financial aid from the state of Washington. So we always encourage families at all income levels to complete those financial aid forms. Very important access to state aid, federal aid, and institutional aid. And that's what it's all about. It's taking this basket of resources that different levels of government and nonprofit organizations, scholarship foundations have to offer, the savings efforts you've made over time, pulling those resources together to pay for those costs. So again, it's ultimately reducing the amount of loans you're having to rely on to fund education or career training.
It's just, it's amazing how far this has come from when I thought about, and my partner and I thought about putting $25 a month away. It's become so much easier and so much more than that. It is always a pleasure and a privilege to have you on the couch. Please give Hope a big hug for me and tell her to break a leg on her first day of kindergarten.
Oh, I'll definitely do that. Yeah, we're very excited for her, very proud of her, and can't wait to see what's next for her.
Absolutely. Speaking of what's next, we have much more to come on Cityline. Don't go away. We'll be right back.